Today, we're discussing God of War Ragnarok, as Andy has finally beaten it. We also talk about NBA 2K26 and Steven's final review of Mafia The Old Country. Let's discuss this and more on the Late Night Gamer podcast. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 62 of the Late Night Gamer podcast, your place for late night laughs, hot takes and video game reviews. I'm your host Welchy, and joining me tonight are Mr. Pop Figures himself, Andy.
Yeah, hello guys, pleasure to be back. Excited to talk about God of War and my thoughts on it.
And our resident horror expert, Steven.
Yes, hello guys, it's nice to be back, and I'm looking forward to speaking about my fun thoughts Mafia as well. So a lot of this podcast is like talking about the end game of some games.
Obviously, normally this is a bit more of a chattier episode, but we are short on time tonight, so I want to jump straight into it. So before we get into our thoughts on Mafia, God of War and NBA 2K, a little bit of housekeeping. Of course, this is the Late Night Gamer podcast. We drop 2 episodes every week, typically on a Wednesday and a Friday. If you enjoy the podcast, please do consider following or subscribing on your favorite podcast service, and also leave a rating, as that really helps support the podcast. You can follow us on all major socials with the handle at the LNG Pod, and you can join our Discord using the link in the podcast description if you want to chat movies, TV shows, and video games. If you're listening or watching on Spotify, you can now leave comments on there too. And of course, our podcast is available on YouTube if that is your platform of choice. Be sure to also check out the LNG Pod on Twitch. Speaking of Twitch, our content schedule for the week beginning 22nd of September looks like this. On Tuesday, you had the Long Walk review on the Late Night Movie podcast. Wednesday, you had our gaming podcast, which was our top 10 Rockstar games. A very fun one where we compared that to a list online. Thursday, we had the movie podcast again, where we discussed Gen V, the new season of Gen V, and Andy and Steven's trips to the cinema to experience 4DX for the first time. And then on Friday, you'll get in this episode where we're discussing God of War Ragnarok, NBA 2K, and Mafia The Old Country. In terms of Twitch streams, I should be streaming probably Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday this week now. I did originally say Thursday, but I'm going to change that to a Wednesday because Hades 2 comes out on Thursday. Finally, we are sponsored by Dubby Energy Drinks. If you want an energy drink for your long gaming sessions, you can get a 10% discount on Dubby products by using the code TheLNGPod at checkout. That's the LNG Pod for a 10% discount. Okay, I do have a very quick rotating segment that I want to do because it's fun, but I'll try and make it quicker than yesterday. And I say that because it's the same.
A game mashup.
It's a game mashup.
Hey.
So
God.
Same concept as yesterday. And when I say the same concept, and I should explain this to people that haven't listened to the movie podcast, what I have done is mashed 2 descriptions of games together and also the titles of those 2 games together. I'm going to read the descriptions of the games, and Andy and Steven have to guess what the 2 games are and see if they can also guess what my merged title is, which is a bit more difficult.
Very well on this yesterday, so I'm hoping to do that trend today.
So let's start. And this is the first description. In a sprawling open world, trainers steal cars, battle cops, and catch them all while trying to rise to the top of the criminal underworld. Oh, come on. I thought that was an easy one.
Is it?
Do you not know any of those games?
Can you repeat it?
Yeah, listen to it carefully. In a sprawling open world, trainers steal cars, battle cops, and catch them all while trying to rise to the top of the criminal underworld. Steven.
Okay. I know the first game.
Is it like Grand Theft Pokemon?
Perfection, Steven. Well done.
Yeah.
It was Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft. And when you said "got to catch them all,"
yeah,
I was like, "Oh yeah, Grand Theft Pokemon."
When you said trainers, that was like completely throwing me off. I was like, trainers, like
Pokemon trainers.
yeah. I eventually got it.
And I don't even like Pokemon, so I mean, I'm just saying, guys.
Yeah, I was trying to think of games where like there was like gym trainers or something. I don't know. Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, let's see if you can get this one. Although it's a bit tougher. Okay, this should help. A tarnished racer must drift through dangerous circuits filled with dragons, bosses, and rainbow bridges to claim the Elden Trophy. Stephen.
What the fuck?
Mario Ring?
You think that? I don't know, but yes, if that makes sense. Try the other way.
Elden
Mario.
Kart?
Elden Kart. Elden Kart is correct. I mean, you could have either way, but yeah, that is a mixture of
Is it like
Elden
yesterday?
Ring and
You
Mario
don't think
Kart.
that what one sounds better? Elden Kart or
Mario Ring.
Mario Ring?
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like a ringtone. But
Okay.
okay, well done, Stephen. You're good at this. Not that you're not, Andy.
Yeah, don't put this in the quiz.
Let's do one more. This one should be obvious.
Yeah, you say that.
In a city overrun by zombies, the only way to survive is to drop perfectly shaped blocks to barricade every door and window. Stephen.
The Last of Tetris?
The wrong first game.
Oh.
So there's loads of zombie games. So unless you mean the order.
No.
Wrong first game.
Yeah.
You mean wrong second game?
No, wrong first game. There's a very
So
obvious
Tetris,
zombie game. Stephen.
No.
Oh, okay.
And
Dead Tetris.
No. No. But
Not Dead Rising.
I get it. Yeah, Dead Rising.
Oh, Die in Tetris.
No. Come on.
Oh,
the most famous zombie game.
Oh, most famous. Oh, Day Tetris. I don't know.
What's that? DayZ or something?
Yeah, that's zombies, isn't it?
Yeah, but no.
Unless you mean no.
I was about to say like
zombies from Black Ops, but
yeah, I was thinking that as well, but that's not the most famous zombie.
Yeah.
Hang on, there's something really obvious that we're missing here, and I'm trying to think.
Not every game in this series has zombies in it.
Oh no, because then.
But it started with zombies.
Okay.
Right, so you're saying what?
Us.
This game start with zombies, but not every variation has got zombies in it. It's going to really kick myself. It's going to be so goddamn obvious.
All the zombie games I'm thinking of.
What's the most famous horror game ever?
Stephen should know that. He's a horror expert. Resident Evil. Oh, Resident Tetris.
There we go. Resident Tetris. Fuck me.
Okay.
I don't think that's the most famous zombie game ever.
Resident Evil 1 and 2 and 3, I can't remember 4, all have zombies in them.
Yeah, but I don't think people would jump to they're not they're not known as
Dead Rising was a
zombie,
great shout. I do get that one.
Yeah.
I also think that for me, I started playing. I played 4 and then Resident Evil 7 and 8. So the early one, I think that's what was throwing me off. When I think of Resident Evil, I don't naturally think of zombies. So although you say it's a pretty obvious one, that is quite tricky because it could literally be anything.
Well, hopefully that was fun for everyone listening at home as well. If you've got any listening at home, let us know. If you want to send any to me discreetly, so I can ask Stephen and Andy in the future, then also do that.
I think you should really put that into the quiz. I think it's a great shout.
No.
Andy,
yes.
You have, after what feels like a year, I don't know how long it's actually been.
It's not actually been that long, but
you have finally beaten God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Obviously, let us know what you thought, and then give us a score out of 10, because obviously you gave God of War 1 this year. Would you play that this year?
Yeah, you played at the start of the year.
You did give that a 10.
Yeah.
So obviously, let us know what you thought without spoiling things for not just Stephen, but just people generally.
Yeah, still relatively new-ish.
Even though there's so many points, especially one point I really want to talk to you about.
Yeah.
But we can do that off air. But yeah, let us know what you thought.
Yeah, so God of War Ragnarok basically starts off where the first God of War ended. It's such a fun game. Obviously, I really enjoyed it. It is more, you heard my thoughts on God of War. It's just more of the same, but then improved upon it as well. It's just such a fun game to play. The boss battles alone, make this an amazing game. They're just, without saying sort of who you fight, but some of the characters you come up against and fight, some of the creatures you would have known from God of War. There's always like massive creatures in these type of games that you come up against and fight. Some are on your team, some are against you, and just seeing all of them on the screen, it's like, yeah, it's magical. It's such a cool experience. I don't think I've ever taken, and Welch will know because I sent him so many like screenshots on a game of just like moments where I'm like mind blown by what's happening and just seeing everything on the screen. It's so cool. Obviously it's the same characters from the first game, so the connection to them is still there. Obviously, with certain characters, you build more of a emotional connection to them as the game goes on. The characters, I love all of them. Freya, Brock and Sindri, Atreus, obviously Kratos. Like, yeah, it like starts to become like a family, more of a family in the second game. So yeah, it's just magical. The overall story, obviously, without giving too much away, I like sort of what the whole game is leading up to in terms of the end point and the end mission quest that you do. I obviously knew it's going to be that sort of end story mission, and I was like, throughout the whole game, as you're like building up and getting towards that point, I was super hyped for what I knew was coming. And obviously I didn't know how it was going to play out, but I knew there was going to be some sort of big battle sort of thing, which was really fun. The NPCs, some of them that you come up against, like obviously I didn't go through fighting like all the side sort of missions and side sort of characters or beasts that you can fight, but there was one bit where I came up against the wolves, like the werewolves in this game, and bloody hell, like I was obviously just playing this on story mode, just trying to get through it and enjoy it. I found those bloody sort of difficult to begin with. Like I think come up against two at first. I was thinking, fucking hell, like I literally died. I was playing on story mode and then like composed myself and then easily defeated them. But I was like, yeah, just wiped me out. And then you sort of walking past and there's like one at a sort of ritual table or like feeding on someone. And it goes, "Are you sure you want to fight that? It's the alpha." I was like, I don't know. But I did fight it and beat it. But yeah, there's just loads of like side bits like that as well. I think there was like can't remember what it's called now, but another like night thing that's optional whether you want to fight it or not. Again, it gives you like that warning. This is a powerful human being. Do you want to fight it? But yeah, also I didn't like look too much into what Ragnarok was. I don't know if you knew what it was, Welchy, before you played it, or if that's like a common thing that people just know what it is.
It's a
but I
famous
wasn't sure.
thing. It's a famous thing in
Yeah,
Norse lore, and obviously it's in Marvel technically.
yeah, I know. Like, yeah, I just didn't. I wasn't sure what I was expecting
Yeah.
Ragnarok to be,
Mm.
but when I saw what it was, I was like, okay, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Um, and again, the build up, all the story missions that all these characters that get introduced along the way, it's just so cool. And anyone that hasn't played God of War needs to play it through because God of War 1 is good, but then this just, like I say, makes it just improves on all of that. There's obviously certain things I don't want to say because I don't want to spoil. Like, I don't feel like it's out there as much, so I think it would be a spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other elements of this game that I really enjoyed playing, without giving too much away, and like the flexibility on like the skill trees and stuff, and obviously activating other characters' abilities when you're like using Kratos and using their arrows and stuff to do things was pretty cool. And yeah, just the fact that it sort of gave me Fable vibes, when obviously it's nothing like Fable, but in Fable 3 you're like building up, you're like getting sort of an army to then do something, like from what I remember, you're building up an army to then go fight someone at the end sort of thing. So throughout the game you're like making friends, and then yeah, it just leads to that big battle at the end, which I loved. So it was a great game, and obviously I can't give this anything less than what I gave God of War, because it's like, yeah, it's better, it's as good but also in a way better. So it's obviously getting 10 out of 10. I can't give it lower than 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I obviously fully concur with everything you said. I wish I was doing a podcast when I played this game originally, so I could have reviewed it like that. But the big twist, Did you see it coming?
Which big twist?
The big twist. There's one major twist with a certain
That's a no
character,
then.
who is
It's hard to like. There's so many things I want to spoil on this game
yeah.
because there's so many cool like
I'll text
individual
you about it.
moments
I'll
with
text you.
characters. But everything that happened, I think I saw coming. So
No
depending on
way. There's no way you saw that twist coming.
it depends what
I'll
bit you
be
mean.
baffled. When it happened to me, I was like, what
Okay.
the fuck?
I
Yeah,
swear
I
Andy's
was.
like just Houdini because he says that he sees every single thing in movies and video games coming.
I'm gonna have to text you right now,
Yeah,
Andy.
I won't see it pop up.
You won't.
No, because I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. But
Okay, don't worry. But yeah, I'll talk to you afterwards. But I'll be stunned if you saw that
it,
particular
is
twist
it to
coming.
do with particular characters or
Character,
without
yeah,
okay, what characters is it to do with? Would that give it away or
yeah. Odin.
okay? Oh, I know what bit you mean. Yeah, no, I did not see that coming.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
That completely threw me.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they're in Sindri's house. Yeah,
Yes.
no, I was like, in my head, I was thinking, has that been like that the entire time? And I was like, yeah, I was like, fuck me.
It
Like, I
has,
did not
right?
see
You
that
know that,
coming
right?
at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
it had,
Cool.
yeah. But yeah,
There's a
it's
mission.
so clever.
There's a side mission you can do after the game. Let's just say you can go and find the real one.
Okay, that's cool.
Which
Yeah,
you have to do for the platinum.
That when that happened, obviously I sent you the picture
Yes,
of
of the
the
aftermath.
aftermath of
Yes.
that whole scene. Yeah, and I was like, oh my god. But yeah, I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that happened. I was like, oh my god. No, I did not
The
see that
rage I
coming.
had
Yeah.
when it happened. Good. I'm
Yeah.
glad you loved it. It's always nice recommending a series, and then because a lot of people with Ragnarok actually say that it's a bit the pacing's a bit off. I completely don't feel that at all.
Yeah,
They feel
there's
like it's a
one thing
rush
that I want to
ending.
say, but I can't say it because I don't want to give it
Yeah.
away. But I felt like it switches up really well in certain like throughout the story. It switches up really
Yeah.
well, especially that end battle when it's switching up. I really
Yes.
liked how quick it changed and how it was really smooth. I thought the pacing was perfect.
Yeah, I personally agree. I think the issue was this was always meant to be a trilogy, but
Yeah,
Sony Santa Monica said we don't want to make a number two, and because of how long games take now, three would have been like 3 or 4 years away, and then between God of War
yeah,
1 and 3, God of War 3 would have probably been out now. It would have been like a 7 year span for 3 games, or maybe an 8 year, and it's like they just wanted
yeah,
it to be much more succinct, which I actually really like that, and especially if they go on to make another game now and make it another. The theories are it might be like an Egyptian this time, like Egyptian law or whatever you call it,
yeah.
mythology.
Mm.
Or some people think they might even go down the Jesus route, which I just do not think they're going to go down the Jesus route personally. That's a bit close, but yeah, glad you loved it. I have to
I
recommend
am
you another game now.
I'm looking forward to playing both at some point. It will be happening.
They're masterpieces, and as I would agree, Andy, both 10 out of 10.
Yeah, definitely.
I've been playing a little game called NBA 2K, 2K26. It came out 2 weeks ago. I bought it only this year. I haven't played them in years. Every now and then they come free on Game Pass, and I dabble in them. But this year I bought it day one because it comes to Switch 2. I had the last Switch game I had on NBA was NBA 2K18. And loved that at the time because it was handheld, and I was having really long train journeys back then, so I could play a lot. My train journeys used to be like 3 hours a day. They're much shorter now, so I don't have that much time to do it handheld. But I've still put in probably about 23 hours, nearly 25 already.
Cool.
A lot
Decent
of that,
amount.
yeah, a lot of that time's been in my team, which is their version of Ultimate Team. But one issue with the game is that no one's online on it. This game doesn't
Yeah,
have
that's
this
the one I
game
was
doesn't have
watching your stream.
crossplay, yeah, with the main consoles. So the Switch 2, I don't know how many sales they've had on Switch 2. It might just be me. But I know that it's not, because when I was playing my career earlier, there was someone invited me to their crew. I was like, "What's the point? We're not going to find anyone else. Like, it's just me and you here, mate.
Yeah.
I'm not playing on day one." But I still enjoyed my team offline. Most of the time when I play FIFA Ultimate Team, which I don't anymore, but when I did, it was offline anyway. So I've got no issues playing that offline. But what is always the highlight of NBA is My Career, which is essentially their story mode where you make your own person or player and you go through the ranks of becoming an NBA superstar. This one, I think I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, is a little bit cringy, some of the dialogue and the bits before getting to the NBA. You start off in high school, then you're kind of recruited to this like high school super team, and then you're effectively told your best option is to go abroad into Europe to get into the NBA.
Okay.
Rather than go to college, go to Europe and play for a professional team rather than college. And I was like, that's an interesting decision. But anyway, I played for Real Madrid. It was between Real Madrid and and PSG.
That's so random.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they actually do have basketball teams.
Yeah.
So I played for Real Madrid Basket, I think they're called. Won effectively the Champions League for them in basketball terms, and then got drafted into NBA, which is where the fucking real fun starts. And I got drafted by the Miami Heat, Andy.
Oh, nice.
Obviously not the glory days of LeBron James, but they got a decent team, and I'm already a starter. I've played 3 matches. I'm a starter now. I'm averaging, how many points am I averaging? 23 points or nearly 24 points a game, 11 assists a game. I'm playing on semi-pro, right? I'm shit at this game.
Yeah.
I'm really shit, but I'm fucking loving it. The one major issue though with My Career, and it's been an issue for a few years from what I remember, is that it's chronically online. So the way you upgrade your player is through the NBA coins that you can buy. So
Okay.
for them to be able to manage that, you can't play your My Career offline because you could kind of glitch the system, get loads of points in a match somehow. That's what they're expecting you to do, and get loads of their
Yeah.
coins, and then all of a sudden you can use those coins to buy packs on my team because those coins you earn them by playing matches, but you don't have to spend them on My Career. You can go and spend them on Ultimate Team if you want to. It's just the NBA currency. So yeah, My Career does not work offline. Back when I played it on Switch 1 on 2018's one, you could make your own offline My Career mode, and it was like it skipped all the stuff at the beginning. It was like just make a player for the NBA and just do it that way. And that was great. Not this time. This time it's like you need to be online for My Career. So I tried it on the train for the first time today, and I was like, you fuckers! Like I don't mind starting my new separate one. Like I don't mind having 2 going at the same time.
Yeah.
So really disappointed with that, I have to say. And obviously, my team you can't play online offline, but I fully expect that. That's an online mode.
I reckon that's pretty like a big disappointment for a lot of people though, because especially like My Career, that's an offline mode, pretty much. People would expect that they can.
The thing with
if you got a Switch 2 and you're buying NBA and like say that's all you play is My Career, you expect that you can play that if you're traveling a lot with the Switch 2, it's handheld console.
Yeah.
Offline.
The problem with it is that obviously most people are on PlayStation, Xbox, and what most people play on NBA is called My Park, which is taking their My Career player and playing like 5v5, like not street matches, but online matches with your player. So that kind of is their focus. And when you're walking around your stuff in the NBA My Career world, all the challenges that come up on the sides are all to do with the online stuff. So they're pushing you to it, but the problem is Switch 2 people are going to be like a lot of the time not online, I think.
Yeah.
So it is a bummer, but
is that mode like similar to what Rush is like on EFC? Like a similar sort of
basketball is 5v5, isn't it? So it's a 5v5 sport. It's more like you just use your own character. So it's like
I see.
What's it called? Clubs, I guess, as such.
Yeah, like a pro club.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Andy, do you remember when we used to play the game mode? It was called like All Star, and everyone would pick one player online from a team.
Yeah, man, that was the best game mode ever.
So that is here, but it's in my team. It's in the Ultimate Team version, so you can still do it, and you pick your favorite card that you've got.
Okay.
Which is a cool idea, but no one's fucking playing it on the Switch too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's annoying that obviously they're pushing all these online stuff as well, and on the Switch 2 you're struggling to even find people to play anyway.
Yeah, so that is the downside. But on the train, I started they call it My GM, which is essentially career mode, but a bit more. You're the general manager, you're like the chairman or whatever you want to call it in football terms, like or sporting director, I guess is the football term. So you oversee everything. And I played my first match on the train, and I got fucking destroyed. So I chose my team, Orlando Magic, and my first game was against the Miami Heat, funnily enough. And in the first quarter, I got destroyed. And I was like, what the fuck? Am I this bad at this game that as soon as I go from just controlling one person to 5, I can't do it? And then the second, third, and fourth quarter, it was closer, but I lost by 15 points by the end of the game because I just could not get back that score.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, am I just that bad at this game that I'm just going to drop this game as soon as FIFA comes out because I know I can play FIFA. And when I'm on the train thinking, what do I play? I'd be like, well, I'd rather win on FIFA than get
Yeah.
on that. And I was like, okay, what I might do is maybe Orlando is shitter than I thought. And I'll just have a look at who I can trade for. And I was doing all that and I was thinking, but there's no one here that's going to make me that much better that I can actually realistically get. And then I thought, oh, maybe the settings aren't right. And fuck me, they put me 2 settings too high. So I play on semi-pro most of the time, and on my team version, sometimes I play pro matches.
Yeah.
Semi-pro being the second easiest, pro being the third easiest. They had me on all-star mode, which I have not touched. So I was like, well,
that's why you got absolutely demolished. Yeah.
So for my next match, I'm going to play on semi-pro, and then I will win. If I win too much, then I'll go in the middle and go on pro. But again, I was like kind of relieved when I saw that. I was like, oh, thank fuck, I'm not just shit.
It's not me.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to say
that.
I literally, so I had a very simple EFC 26 of like going between sort of difficulty levels, and like there was that thing where it tests to you. Start playing. I started on like world class, and then the difficulty changes based on how you're performing. I was playing at West Ham, went 1-0, and then it put me up to legendary. But obviously, you can't change it. I still won, but then played like Sunderland on world class. I got absolutely fucking obliterated. So I still can't quite work out what is like. For me, professional's too easy. World class at times I'm winning now more consistently now that I've got to grips with the game, but sometimes I'll just get absolutely like walloped. So it sounds a bit similar with NBA that like it's hard getting that right balance because it sounds like you're hovering between two.
Yeah.
So like you're really good on one, but you're really struggling on the next higher difficulty.
On pro, it depends on my players on my team. Sometimes I win relatively comfortably, but then sometimes I just can't do anything. On this all-star mode, like I was like, why are they so good at defending me? Like I can't get anywhere. Like, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know, whatever you do, they just like blocked immediately.
And it's like, I wouldn't mind if I could defend. I can't defend for shit. So they just run out the other end and score, and I'm like, fucking 15 points down already. But I'm loving it. I'm obviously going to get EFC this week for the Switch 2, and then I'm basically sorted for a year. Like whenever I just fancy playing one of them, I've got them right there at my fingertips as such. But I'm hoping to keep up NBA. I want to at least finish my career, at least one season, win Rookie of the Year or something.
Yeah.
But I'm a little bit concerned that I'm going to really fucking love having FIFA on the go. And
there's a mode like I'm assuming you'll do like your standard manager career, but they've added like the live career moments where you can dip in and out based on the live match that's happened.
Again,
and
that's online, though, right? You're going to have a connection to get that.
Oh,
no,
I'm not too
sure.
You have
to play online, but as in like to actually get access to it, you probably have to have a
connection. I don't know
on
how the Switch is, but you're right because I have to sign into the EA service in order to get. Yeah, so it might be the.
I could do it
similar
when
case
I'm home.
On
That's fine. I can do career mode when I'm here, but it's when I'm on the train. I'll have to just do.
It gives you
career mode.
It gives you 2 levels because I haven't touched the live bit yet, but it means that and it's separate saves, so I can do my standard career mode that I've done for many years, but also this live one that reflects on what happens in the real world, and that's like pretty cool. So it just gives you sort of a different dimension as well.
I'm really looking forward to it because I'm going to have a player career as well and kind of 2 going at the same time. And I will touch Ultimate Team. As far as I'm aware, there's no crossplay on this either. The problem with the Switch 2 is that Nintendo didn't give any developers the development kits until very late in the day. So there's a lot of people moaning about EA, FC, and NBA 2K not being as good as they should be on a console which can play fucking James Bond, by the way, when that releases, and Resident Evil Requiem.
Yeah.
They should be able to handle pretty much exactly what the PS5s can handle. Not exactly the same.
Yeah.
But I think next year will be the ones where they figure it out because they've had a whole year with it. They've had
I
months
would
with this one, so I'm still going to buy EFC. I've heard it's 30 frames. I don't care about that stuff. I just want it handheld.
I would love for FIFA in particular to be crossover on the Switch, because I feel like it would be
Oh, you'd
a
whack
lot
us.
easier. Yeah, I'd love coming up against Switch
I
players.
remember when, I know we need to go into Mafia, but when Fortnite first come to the Switch, and at first it was just Switch players, as far as I could tell. And I
Yeah,
went on there with a little bit of PlayStation experience, and it was so fucking easy. Like, it was unbelievably
Yeah.
easy. I was like, if only it was like this all
yeah.
the time. Anyway, Stephen, you have
Yes.
finally beaten Mafia The Old Country. I don't know which took longer, Mafia or God of War Ragnarok. Um, what did you think? How close was you to the end in the end? Was you as close as you thought?
I wasn't on the last mission. I was like there was two extra missions before I actually got to the very end. So there was me really smug thinking I'll get this done in like an hour, and then it like pushed. I think Mafia came out at a really like horrible time. So it obviously came out at the time where like it was right slap bang of all of closed arrangements, and every time that I've wanted to try and spend lots of hours on it, like I just haven't been able to have that opportunity. In the last few weeks I've been really able to. As I said, been playing Gears and Mafia. Kind of Gears got shelved when Mafia really started to get into its late stages. Also, I listened back to this last week, and I basically like ruined the absolute shit out of it. I know we joked about it at the time, but I literally gave like in-depth spoilers, so I don't know whether I should do that again,
Especially
or
not
for
the
people
ending,
that are
no.
playing it. No, okay. So, but basically, to simplify what I was talking about, and Andy was like, he can't wait for me to get to the ending because he thinks I'm going to really like it. I can confirm that I fucking loved the ending. The ending to Mafia The Old Country was everything that I wanted and even more. It did scare me at a point because
Scare.
I I thought for a moment it was going to end. It would
I
have been a
see.
lovely
I know.
ending,
Oh,
but
I
it would
see.
have
I
been
know
really
what you
shit from
mean.
my
Yeah.
perspective. And then there's a moment that when you get to it and then you see sort of like the ending begin, I was
Yeah.
like,
I know
okay.
exactly what bit you mean, because when I was
Yeah.
playing it, I was like, surely it can't end here. I was like,
No.
no, something doesn't seem right, and then something does happen. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, here we go. This
There
is
was
good.
part. I mean, this is not really a spoiler because it was something that I've spoken about like prior, but like um Timo, who is this really like old guy, fucking arsehole. Like I hated him in the sort of midpoint of the game, and by the end of the game I absolutely like hated every single bit of him. But there was part of me thinking that he knew about Enzo and Isabella's relationship. So even in like the sort of later stages, I was literally sitting there thinking to myself that like um, you know, look, he's onto something. And it was only when we got to that sequence where I thought, yeah, so it doesn't feel right. But I really was thinking, if you end the game now, I'll be absolutely fuming. It's going to make my score fall all the way down if they go for the shit ending. There is a sort of sequence which I'll just refer to as an opera sequence towards the latter stage of the game, and it gave me sort of really awesome vibes to some of the levels of Hitman 3, just in
What
the
one?
aesthetics of it. Um, Sort of similar to like the nightclub sequence. I know in a completely different setting,
Right.
but just in the way that you moved, and because like in the nightclub you go in the back rooms to actually get onto the
Yeah.
nightclub, and in this mission you go like round the back before you actually get to the center stage of one of the, I don't know what they actually call in opera, the bits where people sit, like the boxes, but I know
Oh,
there's like
like
a
the little, yeah, I
specific
know what you
word.
mean. Yeah, yeah.
I think there's a specific word for them, but I can't remember what that is. But you have to go all the way around, and it's quite stealthily as well. It's one of those like really annoying missions that you only have to get looked at, and it pops up mission failed. You've been caught because you have to avoid detection. There was something that I said last week that came true. Again, I had to be careful in what I was saying because I was like, I fucking knew it about Isabella. But again, when I then said it out loud, I was thinking that could sound really like different or worse, because my suspicions were then confirmed. And yeah, I absolutely loved the final sort of mission, and pretty much all of my notes are completely and utterly spoiler ridden. So I will hang fire on that. But just all in all, it had a really nice resolution. There was part of me as well that was thinking sort of a lot of it was all for nothing because, and that isn't really a spoiler, but it was frustrating that we went through this big journey, so to speak, and ultimately it
didn't mean much.
It counted for very little in terms of the story, not like the gameplay. I'm not saying that as a criticism, but again, what we find with a lot of like sort of gangster tales that, you know, at the end they go through all of this, they feel like they're about to get the life that they wanted, and then something happens that stops that from taking place. I mean, this was very sort of familiar in terms of like I've seen this story been played out many times in other games and indeed movies, but like I can't think of like the last. Well, I can actually, in terms of like Horizon 1, where I'm so invested, and then there were moments where things would happen, and I'm scared. I'm like getting emotional, like I'm getting sort of worried. Like I felt so panicky when Enzo was in a number of situations. So the game really worked for me on an emotional sort of level. I imagine that if people don't get that sort of same connection, that they probably will say that it's a bog standard Mafia game. For me, it's so much better than what I thought it was going to be because of I think it's a brilliantly written story. I think it's got multi layers. I think it's got great performances as well. And there's something at the very end of the game that I didn't expect that I loved even more. There was something that happens at the very, very end. And I did say this to Andy when we went to the cinema on Friday, and I was just like, I did not see that coming. Didn't see it coming in any shape or form. And it was a real pleasant surprise. So yeah, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And there's part of me that wanted to like go back, and I looked at seeing how easy it was to get the platinum. I think it would be quite an easy platinum to get, but part of it is that you've got to basically like buy every single car. You've got to collect every single note. You've got to collect 50 foxes, which that on its own, no platinum is ever worth going through the trauma of having to
Did you
do
get
that.
the platinum on Ghost of Tsushima?
No,
because they are the foxes, obviously. Then
yeah, I don't really tend to go to platinum. The only reason why I want to get another platinum is that I've got this obsession about odd numbers. So I've got 3 at the moment. I really want 4. I'm leading more at some point going back, and I think Sword of the Sea would be a really fun platinum to do, and pretty easy as well. But I know that probably the big platinum I'm going to be doing is going to be GTA 6 when that comes, but that's going to take me probably a fucking year.
I challenge you to do God of War.
But yeah, I had a real fun sort of time, and as I said like a few weeks ago, revisiting Gears, which I'll speak about next week. Sort of, I've been playing 2 campaigns almost simultaneously that I've really enjoyed, and I again in my head thinking they're not going to go down the route of a secret relationship between Enzo and the father's daughter, and I just couldn't believe that they did that and then some. There were like a couple of gripes, so. Again, I completely echo what Andy said. The knife fights are so repetitive. They are like by the end of the game, apart from 1 or 2 that changed things up. Like there's a bit at the very end where I was like thinking, that's a really shit boss fight. I'm surprised that they didn't actually do a knife fight. And then bugger me, that person who you think is dead isn't dead. And guess what? We end up with another knife fight. I'm like, come on, really? Like it was really monogamous. And also there were definitely moments where like I wanted to try and do a knife fight where I didn't get hit. But I think that's really impossible because there were moments where I was pressing X at the same time, timing that it would come up like a little X, and you would then press X, and it just wasn't. And then I'd get a sign to say, you need to press X to dodge sort of strike. I'm thinking, game, I'm fucking doing that. I'm literally doing that. And sometimes like Enzo would like be like sort of someone out of the Matrix and moving all around. I'd be doing the exact same, and then he'd just be getting hit. Never to the point of like getting killed or anything like that. I didn't die in one single knife fight, but I felt at times that I was out of control. So that was a bit of a like they didn't need to do it. Sort of, I think they probably did like 9 times throughout like a 10-hour story, which is
well,
it's way too much.
That was my main like criticism of the game, is that every single boss fight was a knife fight, and it's like, could you not have thought of something different
else,
for at least like the end end boss fight as well? It's like chuck something new in, like make it more exciting. But it was literally the same standard format knife fight every time you had a main fight. It was like it was too repetitive.
In thinking about that, how I thought the boss ending, and I thought that's a bit of a shit ending. I'd rather have taken that than having to do another knife fight. Put it that way. I think the other gripe as well, and this is more sort of it's more of a me thing really, but like the stealth bit started to annoy me because like Mafia's quite realistic in terms of when you're shooting, when you're driving. Like it's not like sort of a GTA where you can do crazy. I mean, there was a couple of times where my car completely flipped over, not a single bit of damage. I just hit a post and I then lose a bit of health. And I'm like, I've literally done like a 360 barrel roll, no health at all. I've literally just like caught a bit of the pavement and I've like lost health. But generally speaking, it was quite a realistic game. But like there were moments, there's a final battle where you have to be basically stealthy. You're in this sort of bit where it's all burning down, and you're basically having to go around. And yes, it will come up with an indication that you'll then press circle and then you'll hit. But there were other moments where I was literally like, the person that I'm chasing cannot see me in any shape or form. I'm right there. I press circle, but obviously because I haven't pressed it when it's advised me to, the person then just turns around and then catches you. And I'm like you would have never ever seen me in a billion years, right? I think it's ridiculous that you have to be prompted to then press the button. Like you've got to be in an exact position to do it. It's something little, but like it was annoying, and it made that boss fight. I had to do it at least 3 times because I kept like being too. I kept being too forward thinking and like wanting to just do it because I felt that I was in the right position. And then when I realized that you have to do it when it prompts you, but that's not really an intense or difficult boss battle. That's literally the game like telling you that you've got to be in the exact place to then press circle to then injure the person. And I just thought, again, that's a really shit like gimmick. Having said that, my score, I basically bypassed that. I don't care about the gimmicks of the game because I think the story's so good and so enjoyable and so emotionally engaging that I will forgive those points that I've just said in the score that I'm about to give.
Oh, you better not put this on the same level as God of War because I'll be fuming.
Do you want to hear my score?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've given it a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Oh my god. This is not a 9 out of 10 game.
I mean,
just for the
everyone has different experiences with different games.
What rating did you give it out of curiosity? Because I didn't
7, yeah, gave it 7.
I mean, that's still, it's not that far. 7 and 9 are not that far apart, really.
There's a big gap between 7 and 9. Like, I know it's only literally a 2 gap, but there's a big like difference in a 7.
The story is so good and so emotionally engaging for me that's the reason why it goes so high. Because it's just an incredible story.
I've got a list of all the reviews we've done. Not many on the game side. And Andy, when you did Lost Records Part 1, you gave that a 7.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. But obviously, Stephen, you've given that the same rating you gave Forbidden West and Atompool.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'd happy with that. I mean, Horizon's an interesting one that I could maybe push Horizon Forbidden West to like more of like a 9.5. Yeah. But I definitely enjoyed number 1's a 10.
Yeah, you gave it.
But like, I was so pleasantly. I think as well, if a game surprised me, like I thought Mafia in my head was going to be like a 6, 7 out of 10. I played Mafia 3. I know the Mafia games. This is the best written Mafia game.
Have you played all of them?
I've done Mafia 2 and 3. So this will be my third.
And this is the best out of the 4, 3?
Oh yeah, massively. This is by far the best Mafia game. I think some of the other Mafia titles just do the sort of same thing that we've seen, which Mafia The Old Country does do, but the Mafia games up to this point for me haven't had that emotional sort of engagement, and not many video games do that. I think of like Last of Us, Walking Dead, Uncharted, as an example. Horizon number 1.
God of War.
If I've got that emotional, well, I'm imagining God of War maybe will do that for me based on from what I've heard.
Not put Mafia on the same level, please.
Well, I might give God of War a 10, and then therefore it wouldn't be on the same level, would it? But I just think that it's similar like with a movie. If a movie packs an emotional punch, it just gets high scores for me. It sounds to me, Andy, that you didn't get that emotional connection to the same level that I did. So maybe that's where our scores have changed, because apart from that, what we've said about the game, we're pretty much aligned.
I gave it 7 because like the mechanics are pretty, like, it's what I expected from a Mafia game. They're pretty sort of basic. Obviously the boss fights take it down a lot for me. I don't like games where they try to force you into stealth missions. I like having the option of you can do stealth or go full out attack. It's your choice.
Yeah.
In the fact that maybe stealth, you can go stealth part of it, which will then help you long term. But then, like, although the story was good, I thought it was really predictable from the very sort of beginning. As soon as you find out about the love interest with Isabella, or Isabel, whatever her name is, it's from that moment on, I sort of saw where the whole story was going, and it sort of unfolded. Other than like, there were surprises in there, like the fire bit, where the fire, that whole mission bit was, I didn't see that coming at all. But yeah, just the boss fights, the story, although it was emotional, it was too predictable for me.
I think though, the thing that worked for me is that sort of anticipation of when the truth comes out. I know it's gonna be really weird, this tangent I'm gonna go with, but like EastEnders is a perfect example of for me. Like, go with what I'm saying with this. With EastEnders, when they do a storyline that you as the audience know there's a secret, you're waiting for when that secret is revealed, and it kind of keeps you on the edge of your seat in that way. And Mafia did the exact same. So every mission that I did, I was thinking, are we going to get more in terms of getting closer to that truth being exposed? In my head, I'm thinking it's going to happen at the end of the game. But the game is quite clever in the way that it feels like it's wrapping up. It feels like you're right at the very end of the game. I mean, I thought I was on the very last mission. To then get 2 extra missions that I didn't anticipate them going in that way. I don't think you can say that bit was predictable. I get from the majority of it played in the way that I felt it would. But also there were a couple of missions where you had the option to be stealthy, but you didn't have to. You could shoot. There were those missions though that specifically said you have to avoid detection, and only the mere sight of, like, there was a bit in the opera bit where
I agree with you.
There's just me and one other guy, and I had enough time to kill him, but the game then popped up and said, you've been caught, which would have been a physical impossibility because there's nobody else anywhere near. So I do understand that, and I think even if I hadn't had slightly the same sort of emotional connection, I probably would have lowered my score. But for me, that's what pushes it higher.
It's like when you compare Mafia to like the other games that you've given a 9, or like, for example, if you gave Last of Us or Last of Us Part 2 a 9, and then you put Mafia on that same level with one of those type of games, or like Horizon, then that you've given a 9, or
Last
Horizon 2, whichever one.
Both of them.
Like the comparison between those two games is like massive, or like, I'm sure there's like other 9s on your list that if you compare it to Mafia, they won't hit. Like, for me, they don't hit the same.
I think you're making an interesting point in the respect of like the gameplay, that they're better games in terms of how they work the mechanics of it. So like Horizon is head and shoulders above sort of the mechanics of Mafia, but the story, as someone that is I'm a story based gamer as well as enjoying mechanics and gameplay. If a story
is like so obvious, like it's not like, it just doesn't, like those moments where it's meant to be emotional, I don't think it has the same impact in Mafia than it would in a Last of Us game. Or
but it still had an impact for me. So it might have not had an impact for you, but that's where we differ. It worked for me emotionally, so therefore that's why I have to give it a high score.
That's fair enough. I think a lot of people obviously would disagree with you, but yeah, there is one part I wanted to ask you about. When there's a part towards the end game where you have I think you have a choice, but I'm not sure. You go to like a church, and then Kino asks you to kill someone for him. Did you kill that person?
Yeah, but you had to. It wasn't a choice. You had to kill him.
So
it just pops up with the objective and says kill the person. You're about the person outside the barn.
It's outside a church, I think.
Yeah, and then it's when Timo takes the priest in. After.
Yeah.
It just popped up saying kill. It didn't give you the option.
Did you? I know it pops up kill him, but did you shoot him straight away?
Yeah, I just shot him in the head.
Okay, so I don't know then, because I know it pops up, but you might have, because of something else that happens further down the line. I don't know if you actually have an option to not shoot him and then something else happens, but I just wanted to know if you didn't.
It normally, in those kind of scenarios, it will give you the option to either kill or let the person walk away. In other games that have given that
objective, but in some of these games they don't always put it in the objective. It leaves it down to you to make that choice personally.
Oh,
Although it
okay.
says kill, if you then left it, something else might have happened. I'm not saying that it would have in Mafia. It might have forced you to kill him, but I'm just curious to know if that is. I'll probably go Google it afterwards, but I'm curious to know
Maybe. Yeah,
because
there's
there is a link in a later mission back to that sort of moment. So I wondered if you don't do that, it might change some of the end parts. But
yeah, it might. Yeah, no, now that you mention it, because there's a revelation that then follows from that. Yeah, I'd be curious
Yep.
to know if you don't do that. But there was another moment where you have to essentially follow a path, and I wanted to see what would happen if I went the complete opposite way, and I just got absolutely shot to pieces by doing that. So I wondered if in that moment, if you don't, does Timo pull out a gun and kill you, and then it restarts, because it basically sets up the final act. I mean, that I've just finishing off. I'm kind of now debating: have I gone too generous with my score? Do I lower it to an 8.5? Because there's part of me thinking,
Andy, change your mind if you think it's
no,
nine,
but it's
a
only
nine.
the only reason I say that is that Horizon, I am basically comparing Mafia to Horizon Forbidden West, but
Games
no,
are
I'm
different.
gonna stick.
Every game's different.
Yeah,
Horizon's a massive open world.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna stick with it. Actually, I'm not gonna be swayed. I'm as a story-based gamer as well, and a lot of people I think would share, if a game gets you emotionally, and I was nearly crying by the end of it, then it's done its job in terms of keeping me engaged. So yeah, we'll keep it. I'll put it on the lower end of the 9s.
Although,
So it's
if Zero Dawn's a 10,
numbers are going to be
Forbidden
down
West
for
is
this
also a 10,
podcast.
by the way. But anyway, that's a completely different conversation.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's been a fun episode. We will be discussing next week on the Friday episode EAFC, Gears Reloaded, and anything else we've been playing, Andy. I will probably... Yeah, I would have played Hades 2 by then, so I'll probably be talking about Hades 2, which should be fun. But for now, Andy, where can people follow you?
So you can follow me over on Twitch at Andy_Y_07, or over on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at AB Collectibles or AB Collectibles 24, and should either have a video coming in on YouTube or already uploaded by this point. So yeah, thank you very much.
And Stephen, where can people follow you?
Yeah, just on my TikTok at DJ Backpass. This weekend, Analyze and Arsenal will be continuing as always, and I will have some Oasis videos because I am going to see Oasis on Saturday at Wembley. I cannot wait for that. And just on my YouTube of the same name as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for listening to the Late Night Gamer podcast. We really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, give us a follow, leave a rating, and tell a friend about us because that goes a really long way. You can follow us on all social medias with the handle at the LNG Pod. Next week, we are back with our favorite levels in video games, which will be a fun conversation. And then the week after that should be, I think if my timings are right, our early impressions of Ghost of Yotei. Which is very exciting how close we are with that. One thing I didn't mention, I want to quickly just say it to you both. Silent Hill reviews are out. Silent Hill F, 87 on OpenCritic, and it's Andy's game in the Critic game, so keep an eye out for that.
That's good.
Metacritic is lower, and we did that for our Metacritic game, so I have to see how that pans out. But
I'm getting the steelbook should be with me by the end of the week, so I'll have the steelbook of Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill QF ready to play both of them at some point.
It does sound good. Until then, I have been your host, Welchy, and my guests have been Andy.
Yeah, thank you as always, guys. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, excited to see what game I play next.
And Stephen.
Yeah, been a pleasure as always, and looking forward to the next one.
Thank you all for listening, and keep on gaming.